Let me tell you about the full 8th grade in detail. So what you did though, this is back when Mega Video came out, back when I was still watching Soul Eater. This is a very important video because in my lifetime, I two presidents that were defining of my mom's criticism are all actuality. And I'll let you know how this started. First off, it started with me listening to a Japanese rap song. I wanted for Nas Times 2 that was on TV at 29 when people saw, awarded me a Jump Force. I got hella mad. I was pissed. What happened was I had it on a CD. It was crazy. It was literally a J-Rap song. I literally looked it up a whole bunch of times. J-Rap, Japanese rap. I listened to that same song and start dancing in front of Mr. Pleasure. It's like, oh. Crazy. It really is crazy. If you don't know about that situation, that's why I learned on YouTube. I can never find that song again. This me off. I heard that song was being played the other day. I couldn't dance to it. This is also a year of Narada Lily when I first met her. I was like, hey, our girl looks like Priya Rai is going to school. Her and Tyrone ended up holding hands at PE. What people do is they say there was a whole bunch of rejections. Like, no, Lily Harris doesn't know standards. Doesn't know how to not look for a young girl like that. Anyway, it was still a pretty good year. Now, what I'm going to say will blow your mind with this video. And also what you did, though, is that this is the year of Ben. This is when I first met Ben and his whole gang. So what happened was, Ben used to live right next to me in San Leandro, but in school he got kicked out because of Logan High because I tested him one time. Was I was wearing a lot of tight jeans, so I was listening, to imaginary friend named Juvia. He said, try white jeans next time. Or loose video till I actually started doing better. Also the time with Ben when I started doing a freezing thing in front of him, like what I did was I recognized a short person in fighting. I literally saw the cutscene of Empire Z. I don't know if it was a mirage or not, but that's how you make him Mandela. The character's face off, his Frieza's arm is up against him. That's how a little person gets inside when fighting. Big Ben was a big gang member. He introduced me to a lot of things. In fact, a lot of the street statements I couldn't get away with today because he actually joined the whole gang, all the way to a point where he could do a point with his shirt. Also, Justin, the almighty haymaker on my channel for all 3 years, was introduced this year. Now, the thing is, I don't like talking about middle school on my channel due to me going out to my own events in real life. Shan, literally, I don't care. I got to grab over 300 asses. I can bitch and fuck Tyrone. Later on, get graded. I mean, literally, something you don't know about getting all the points in round 1 before you get to round 2. It's that in a situation you do the full feeling with Scott and Henry. When it comes to full execution with a girl, you can only get a D. What you're doing is illegal. That's what ends up happening. You figure out the Udi Booty do is wrong because they tell you to be an A, you can only be a D in an illegal situation. When Justin gets introduced, this year, I'm originally calm. He starts talking shit, I start hitting him like Vegeta. Here's the thing, literally, for people who don't like gaslighting on my channel, this is aka Asian girl that I called Mulan at the end of the year, and I started swearing along with Justin and everyone PE, and I was like, why is anybody swearing? He's like, cause they actually fucking tried. Guess what he was under me that actually, Video Vixen. What happened where a girl actually asked me out in class, a whole bunch of them, like Marisol, think Connor Brittany who wore orange like Goku, Naomi, a whole bunch of people, literally, there was even the Bobber girls for me at the beginning of the year. Why? Because my clothes stepped their game up. I started to wear sleeves, I started to ask my mom specifically for sleeves. Stopped the relationship between Matt and Ashley, which is when they went out that whole year. Guess what? Well, I figured it out. The situation my mom's head is literally why I start going off. Oh, I want to be a sex nerd. I want to wear glasses. I want to do this, and that. Starts pointing literally to my invisible dick. In other words, my short guy complex. And that's what all short guys have an ego. Little do you know, all these fucking sleeves and all these games you're playing, I work with fucking Tyrone and Rada. It makes me sick because it's popular instead of liking people with who you really are. What happens externally is all this shit happens, but guess what, Mr. Pleasure? You're ignoring the Video Vixen, the cologne, Lily, the deodorant. Clean hair that looks like a rock star. Bitch is actually trying. Girls in the beginning come from a gang. Doing so this year, now that we got all the negative out of this video, Mr. Pleasure has some of the funniest one-liners, greatest hits of all time. This year, I was looking up videos. What happens in the beginning of the year is Justin's hella fucking funny. He doesn't just catch me, he catches a black guy called Travis off guard. When it comes to a while, he tells him to shut up just like Justin actually came from Newark Memorial for this one. Here kicks off with me being my over something. There's an extra guy called Kristen Palomino. I hella condoms in the beginning of the year. What ends up happening is, this is when I'm addicted to fucking porn. The thing is, I stopped worrying my dick literally in the middle of class after I'm working hard. Chris is like, what the fuck? The year keeps going on. One of the best in class when it comes to math. And Jonathan literally, when Miss Fair was bent over, he is asking her help on his math test. He looks up in the air and slaps it. We all start laughing, and Big closes his mouth. So there are critical points about this year that Lily showed me that I just had Asperger's. Like, if you didn't know, if you think I've been going back and forth for Henry and Child, he's really not a big thing. In fact, Lily, Caesar Fade are trying to avoid his party. because I threw him a party for the end of 8th grade. The end of 8th grade, literally, there was Ben at my birthday party. There was Isner at my birthday party. There was Henry at my birthday party along with Andre. It was really good. I went from literally after dance where Justin brought his girlfriend, Chantel, the school bitch around. Looked at Elliot and fucked me. I think it's really seriously for my child because I wear feelers. Well, I saw them holding hands, sitting right next to my mom. After dance in front of her face, I told her to shut the hell up, imitate Justin's comedy show. People keep on saying on the child that it should have happened sooner. It still happened at all. That's my mom, man. Rob and the girl, big ass, big T's, were laughing literally simultaneously. This is getting tossed around by everyone literally. Did I literally repeat? Test me Alpha and Megan when she said that shit isn't funny, literally, and how Justin was hella funny. And Elsie's trying to escape. Junior high, junior high, junior high. This shit and fuck up and go eat a blue waffle. Anyway, after all that shit, not only did I beat Gio, but I became champion. Brace yourself, that's not all at the end of the year. There's a tournament of foosball when I was devastating. I'm telling you, the moral of this video, if all that shit happened, when I was getting into it with Alberta with that. Breast cancer wearing this shit after Maria became my Valentine. So if you didn't know, I started watching Timothy Leggett again this year. It wasn't only the first year I was introduced to him. What makes this video special that is giving you all in and out details. I think he wasn't the only one who I stalked on YouTube. There was also Nigga Higga. Smosh was a brilliant, YouTube channel I was watching in 2008. Guess what? When things got critical, I recognized that Smosh was a hit, and I still watch Smosh. Every single one, including the food fight. Even all the way to when they got to Dr. Phil, when they're asking for God for help, and they looked at Dr. Phil in the sky. Smosh was a hit of it. Timothy DeLaGelle, you were listening to every single song, and knew all the side rappers, including Audible and Deep Pride. That's what was hit in 8th grade along with PD Flow. Super Rigo. What year is this? This is the year that Can't Believe It Lil Wayne came out. The dances, everyone was different. I developed was kind of natural, but you gotta understand this year had, a lot of heavy elements. I don't like to put emphasis on, but there was also woodshop cuts was a heavy haymaker. Literally, I made some of the best custom ambient designs of all time. I got to constant arguments about Henry and rap. This is also a year of Kimmy. Actually, I match for him, but not in that category. The thing I figured out about life, guys, you recognize that you morphed Kimmy. I morphed Kimmy literally in the beginning, not the end of the year. I morphed both her and Victoria. Those are my bitches. You want to know why? Because they both said yes in the beginning. What you don't understand what a morph is, literally, is when you slightly defer, literally, and she gets brought to another light. Literally, it has something to do kind of with banging. Happens is, she's originally ugly, but the whole reason, why you morphed her was because you put her in, a shine of a light, literally, that's different to her normal, facial composer, and literally what ends up happening is now she's hella fine because she's influenced by you. There you go, no matter how much they hit you with previously, you morphed two bitches. A whole bunch about this shit on the outside, like how the outside bitches are getting pregnant. Yeah, that's why my brother is yelling at me. On to the online videos, for real. So with all these complacency with me, recognizing that One Piece is coming out super in HD when Brook first comes out literally with a little fucking fishtail, creature in One Piece that looks like a roster with dreads. Super HD quality like fucking Disney, and I'm like, what? And it was raw too, with no subtitles. I got to watch it live. On to all the fucking deaths, on their Bridge series, in the Japanese One Piece, voice actor endings. Pets are telling me to go to group. Lately, did I hear the song called Last Resort by Papa Roach, Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Oh! It keeps on progressing on. Literally, my two favorite fights that I knew about, but didn't touch upon too much was Naruto and Sasuke Part 1, when they're in the water in the valley, and Luffy versus Rob Lucci. So that's how, the year, middle ended. It was Naruto Sasuke, it was Luffy versus Rob Lucci, it was Naruto versus Sasuke, Luffy versus Rob Lucci. At the end of them routed spanking, I was watching Super Special Dog. It's hella funny that internet video parodies continue. By the way, don't watch Weird Al videos. I have a big thing between fucking Dylan and Daffy though. When it comes to showing me Weird Al. Because he has shit like, eBay that makes fun of Backstreet Boys. I don't want it that way. It just shows you why the original versions are better. If you ever live in a world where it's bad, that's why I stand at today. Literally, I call out whole Mandela effects. I call out this is why society isn't running organically. This is why you're all dumbasses, and that's how Doolittle and Daffy goes, by the way. That's mental health. That's how you fucking work. So if you try to get at me like job, art, disability, I actually learn that's how you roll. I said, fuck you. Harder dreaming for gang member. I mean, what makes more sense? Somebody with more agility, comedy, reminiscing that amphibian, and somebody running an oxymoron that's to make you a slave to society really isn't worth it. Also, my mighty friend came this year, Courtney. Courtney was also introduced this year. It was a heavy hate maker of all characters. At the very end, there was the movie with James. So cool, really. I got to be one of the best dancers in 8th grade. I got to copy. I got to do a lot of stuff, live through a lot of my visions. It came to One Piece A and B, it came down to the tattoo, literally, that one, literally, one with special effects of Soy Vegas said, "We're not gonna get us." We had all that shit. It ended off with a 4-foot long dick that ended up in the Guinness Book of World Records. It was the interior of Brick House Bandit, and what happened was I completed, perfected a perfect replay. The only thing that we don't have in 2021 that's similar to 8th grade was an actual point-by-point sequence where it came to Moving On, but it had the exact same substance. When it came to Ayano, I kept on watching, anime sober. I ran into a Papa Lock with Joss when I had the Starburst. Gave the description of Brick House Bandit, it was dead on Tyrone. I started saying shit like, you don't want 8th grade anymore. You don't want the final piece of Crip anymore. 8th grade is abuse. For more descriptions, go check out seasons 1 and 2 on my channel. It ended off good. Remember, lately, there was a big example with punk rapper Elliot at BG Jones, even Jaylene, and I discarded it. You want to know why? Because I actually learned how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In real life. I grew up to hate these people even though they're part of my journey, but anyway, if anybody's a big fan of my channel, they recognize that me and Ellie literally had an argument at the end of the year about a 6th grader. I'm like, man, Sue's getting spanked. I want to talk about that shit. Playing sports, literally, you're grown men compared to autistic kids. I don't like it. Money, I mean, seriously. Everything was still pretty cracking. Even though Courtney's party has some of the biggest statements when it comes to autism, when it comes to concrete robot beats, 1,000 people dancing, this and that. On the outside, literally, they're so silly, it's stupid as fuck. That's what Gamer mean, guys. And literally, at the end of the video, the lesbian cops didn't want to compare my party that was pure that was made for all the Abbott and the Courtney's party. But end off this, I know my brother uses reverse psychology when he was talking to me, one-on-one in the car. So, I still think that you would have a lot of fun, even if you were going to the same school from Silver to Washington. Here you go, to argue with my family on this channel. I have a ton of moments, literally, including where a girl or somebody stole my Kanye West suits. Karen back stole my graduation cover. Can I call police? Can I get help from the police ever since? Can't even claim my own CD. But anyway, this is a story of 5th grade. Fuck out of here.